Oh, hi. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our stream. This is Asgard Talk with Luis Buenaventura. I just want to welcome you guys, everyone. And Mert, do you have a few things to say? I'm sorry, Mert.
Oh no, I'm back. Am I back? Okay,
Yes, you're
I'm
back.
here.
You're
I'm
back.
live. Hi, good evening, guys. So I was just on mute. See, I told you. I was just saying that you said if I have a few things to say, maybe a lot because I'm a little nervous. Ayan na nga.
Yes.
Na-mute ko yung mic ko. Right? And for those of you watching, guys, as Guardians, welcome to
Welcome.
our Wednesday. Yeah, and Halloween No Tricks Just Treats. And our treat for tonight is, of course, our talk with Luis Buenaventura.
That's right, guys. So thank you for tuning in for all our Asgardians and soon to be Asgardians. And as Myrtle said, tonight is our talk with Luis Benaventura. And of course, we have Thursday, Mystery Thursday with Yo. And Friday, we'll have Enchanted Friday with Jerick and Cha. And Saturday, Spooky Saturday with AJ Gaming. And of course, on Sunday, we'll have our Halloween party. Of course, you guys are all invited. Please stay tuned for that party. But tonight, let's all focus on Luis Benaventura first, as this is a very exciting stream. To all
Yeah.
those who would really like to venture into cryptocurrency. But before
Yes.
that, we do have a few reminders.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
Oh,
with
okay. Sorry, Nathan. Yeah. See, I was just waiting for you. Okay, what else? Okay, yeah. So, guys, we have a lot in store for you, and I've seen in our Asgard Citizen Hall that you guys some of you have already submitted your entries, diba? So, madaming sumali, and we are still open for those of you who would want to join the Best in Costume, the TikTok challenge, and funny Halloween prank, and there is a scholarship bidding as well. And for the existing Asgardians, we have the top MMR for the month of October. So, di ba, hindi lang Asgardians ang makakakuha ng prizes, but all of you guys who would want to participate,
yes.
then you
Mhm.
have the chance to win either GCash, GrabPay credits, and of course, yun yung mga hinihintay nyo, yung scholarship. Yan. And this will be announced on Sunday on our virtual Halloween party.
That's right. And before we actually introduce Luis, we'll be playing a short video uh, introducing Luis himself.
Yeah, kasi there's a lot of things. Alam mo, sobrang dami nga natin pwedeng masabi. Kasi, I am already a fan, right? Before Nathan, we were talking about, like, Luis, di ba? And then,
Yes,
oh, yes, there's a video. Yeah, we're talking about Luis. And we've researched about him. And I was like, oh my God, if pwede na lang natin siyang kunin sa Asgard last year, we would want that, di ba?
that's
So,
right.
yeah,
That's
and
right.
I'm so excited to learn from him. And you guys, let's all watch this.
So my portfolio is basically 100% crypto. I don't diversify. In fact, I barely have any pesos in my bank account. All of my money is crypto. Hindi naman nag-iba yung technology just because nag-iba yung perception ng market about it. So I have a hat that says "Don't trust, verify," and that's basically my motto, kasi for the cryptocurrency space, no. just because you saw a YouTube video of some guy talking very passionately about cryptocurrency, NFT art, blockchain gaming, whatever, doesn't mean you have to take his word for it, right? So do your research, do your homework, try to find out if you can verify all of the things that I'm claiming, and only put your money in once you have some confidence that you understand some of the things that you're about to spend your money on. And then, keep an open mind. There's a lot of stuff out there, and at the moment, everything's a work in progress.
All right, there you go,
Wow.
Nathan. My goodness, iba yan pa lang yung intro. Napakadami na. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really, really overwhelmed kasi sobrang, for me, sobra. I don't even know the adjective that I would like to describe this man, diba? Idol. Right, so this
Grabe.
man is all over the internet. Yeah. All over the internet, talking about crypto and NFTs. Ayan, I'm also jumping in. We're also jumping into NFTs, diba, Nate?
Mm-hmm.
He's the
Mm-hmm.
author of a
That's right.
Bitcoin book, ayan, sinabi kanina, and the co-founder of the Crypto Art Guild, country manager of YGG, and one of the like first few NFT artists in the world. Tama, diba, Nathan?
That's right. That's right. And of course, guys, let's all welcome Luis Benaventura.
Yay!
You guys.
Hi.
Sana you told me that there was gonna be a video. Now I'm a little embarrassed.
Why? Hi,
Well, thank you
Luis.
very much for
How are
doing
you?
that.
And
That was
welcome to
really
Asgard.
Welcome to Asgard.
good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. That was a very well put together video. I'm slightly embarrassed, but I'm
Why naman?
thank you for doing that. I was just not prepared for it. That's all. That's all.
Oh, well, we're
Well,
very happy that you share some of your time. Yeah. And to talk about crypto, maybe we dive in a little bit about NFTs because we are also planning to go that path. And then, as you know, Luis, Asgard is a growing community, so we started with a few scholars, and we chose friends and family as scholars first. So, and after that, of course, we saw the great impact of this in their lives. Diba, Nate? Can you share, like, Nate, like little stories about how we started?
that's right. So first, we actually started with a few scholars. Siguro mga 3 to 5, and they're all family and friends. Then this was the time na nag 20 pesos yung SLP. I remember that
Yeah.
time, and then nakita
Yep.
ko na ay parang ano is this something that we can dive into? Then we did our research, and that's it. The rest is history. We decided to build a community. We are thriving to lead these people and make sure that we take good care of them in every decision that we make. Having said that, we are really happy that you are one of them. I think I can say that having you here, sharing your strengths and thoughts about Axie Infinity and crypto in general, can have a great impact with Asgard and our entire community.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
So okay, we will start, but we don't want to give you like a bulaga question. Naman kasi syempre, so so when we wanted to plan this out syempre properly naman, Luis, we wanted to ask you if you could tell us more about how you started your own crypto journey.
Oh, sure. Yeah, okay. Sige, I'll do the short version kasi medyo
Yeah.
mahaba. So I've been in cryptocurrency since 2014. So 7.5 years ago. Back then, you didn't call it the crypto industry, especially here in the Philippines. No? Back then, you just called it the Bitcoin industry because siya lang naman yung cryptocurrency that was, relevant back in 2014. So naabutan ko pa yung mga meetups ng Bitcoin, the few Bitcoin fans in the country. They would just have breakfast in the Legazpi street market on Saturdays. That was it. That was the meetup. Tapos they just kind of chat about Bitcoin. So ganun siya ka early back then. And then syempre everyone was a member of the black market because hindi pa siya regulated, hindi pa siya licensed. And when you traded cryptocurrency, technically you were doing it outside of the purview of the law. So it was an interesting time to be doing it. And then so on and so forth. I started Bloom in 2015. By 2017, parang nagkaroon na ng Bangko Sentral, yung licensing na that the Bangko Sentral started to offer. It became kind of the accepted way to become a legitimate crypto company. And now we have over a dozen companies here in the Philippines na lisensyado na ng Bangko Sentral. So kind of was able to kind of watch that from the very very early stages until naging regulated na siya, until now in 2020, 2021, this whole new thing of NFTs and play to earn.
Hmm.
That's kind of in many ways it's it's bigger than everything else that's come before it, especially in the context of the Philippines, no? Because I think that yung parang there was always an open question kasi back when we were starting with the whole Bitcoin thing and the whole trading thing, there was always this open question: can cryptocurrencies actually help people who are more low income? Because if they can't, then it's hard to imagine cryptocurrencies ever becoming mainstream. And with Bitcoin, kasi parang kulang eh. There was something that was missing with Bitcoin to make it more compatible with parang the low income part of our population. And if you know anything about the demographics of the Philippines, we're talking about, well, 93% of the country
Yeah,
is low
mass.
That's right.
income. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's basically the entire country, right? So yung tanong dun is there a way for cryptocurrency to do anything for those 93%? And for a while, we couldn't really find an answer. And then all of a sudden, this whole play to earn thing came along, which was enabled by NFTs. And suddenly it seems like there's a path. Suddenly there seems to be like a way for, people who don't have capital to actually participate in the crypto industry, the crypto ecosystems. And kind of when I started to realize na ito pala yun, parang it became very apparent to me that I had to be more involved in it. That's why I ended up joining Yield Guild, because
Hmm.
parang yung mission ng Yield Guild is to kind of make this stuff as accessible as possible to all of the Filipinos. I mean, not just the Philippines, obviously, but like the all of the low income people in the world. Um, Although my personal focus is 100% Philippines. So I'm the country manager of Yield Guild Pilipinas. So that kind of our focus is 100% on enabling guilds, enabling scholars, enabling managers, providing them with capital support. So we're doing that on several levels now. So you can join us either as a guild, like Asgard could join us if we can make that happen.
Okay.
This will provide
Wow.
capital for that. If you're a manager, you could potentially join us also. You could become one of the managers of YGG, and then if you're a scholar, you could also be a scholar na under one of our existing guilds. So there's quite a few guilds because they're currently under the YGG umbrella here in the Philippines. So yun yung that's kind of the goal of the company. And like, if you asked me back in 2014 if this is the what I was envisioning for crypto in the Philippines, no, I had no idea that this was where it was gonna head. But I guess that's crypto for you, no? Like, you can't tell. You will never be
Talaga.
able to predict kung saan siya pupunta. But I think once you recognize that the path that it's heading towards is something that you want to um, participate in and support and really get behind, you have to move fast. Because again,
That's
the, the
true.
the one thing the other thing about crypto kasi is, one, it's very unpredictable, and then the other thing is it's super fast, right? You have to be able to move quickly. So yun, I mean, that's been the story of my life for the last 7.5 years, I guess.
Ang galing lang talaga ng impact ng cryptocurrency in general, no? Well, I like how you highlight po na paano matutulungan ang masa with this and because of the play to earn nga. So this is really, I think, is very perfect for developing countries, 'di ba? Kasi
Yeah.
I've seen some of the players and managers that are part of, let's say, Canada, and one of the Ano ba? Isa sa mga videos na lagi natin pinapanood. I can mention Axie on the Moon, 'di ba? So he's in Canada but still into Play to Earn Axie Infinity. Now, I think you've already covered some of our questions already with that answer.
Oo nga.
Yeah.
Napaka first
I mean, I could
first
jump into
question pa lang
details
ano
too
na.
if you want. Yeah.
We actually we want that too, Luis. Kasi I know basically now because of what you said. What made you interested in Axie Infinity? It's just I like the idea that you want to focus on Philippines and how you want this to be sustainable for everybody, right? Here in the Philippines who
Yeah.
would want
Yeah.
to jump in into to Axie Infinity or crypto in general. Now,
Right.
sige,
Mhm.
i-ano natin siya. So, since Asgard Axie is a growing crypto gaming community nga our goal is to be like YGG. We can't be like you. We can't be
Okay.
YGG, right? But,
Uh,
can you tell us more about like what are the building blocks or what can you share with us in order for us to be, to stay on the right path, kumbaga?
right.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, look. I mean, if I think yung this new phenomenon, kasi it's all about community. So, it's very different from the traditional businesses where I mean, not to sound greedy, but if you are a normal business person, kasi your job is to find as many ways as possible to get money from your market, right? Or your customers. That's the point of being in a business. However, nagbaliktad kasi yung parang model na yon. It reversed itself in play to earn. In fact, what's happening now is the guilds that are strongest tend to be the ones that are giving more to their scholars. So with YGG, for example, yung scholar ratio namin is 70%. Now,
Mm.
that's not possible for other guilds for many different reasons. Possibly yung guild has limited resources, di ba? Kailangan nilang mabalik yung capital nila eh. So pag naglabas sila ng
Totoo.
pera, they need to get it back at some point. Otherwise, malulugi sila.
Tama.
That's true.
So, so the economics of it are very different for every guild. I've got my own guild. I think some of them are watching here. Yung Crypto Pop Art Guild. With us, 50% yung napupunta sa scholar. And that was the only way we could make it work because sariling pera namin yung nilagay namin dun eh.
Mhm.
Whereas with YGG, it is the money of investors and other partners and stuff like that. So it's slightly different, no? Now I think that what's really interesting is wala namang hard rules for this. I mean, I think we're just figuring it out as we go along. Just because you're doing it a particular way does not mean that that's wrong. Just because you're doing it a particular way does not mean that it's right either. I think what we're discovering is that the community is supposed to tell us what they think is fair, and then it's this constant interaction, it's this constant conversation with the community to figure out nga kung ano, like where to find that balance, no? And if you do it right, the community will act as both your customer base, your marketing arm. It will act as your yung parang moderators, your volunteers,
Mhm.
your sila mismo yung magta-train dun sa mga newbies, diba? So like it doesn't it's so different from the way that companies used to work. Because back then you used to hire everyone that I've just said. Like, diba, parang if you need
Mhm.
people who to train your players, then you hire that. If you need people to
Correct.
moderate your Discord channels, then you hire that. If you want people for marketing, you hire that. Now you don't do any of those things, right? So now it's just you, the organization, parang interacting with the community. And actually, it's very hard na nga to differentiate kung saan nag-end yung organization and saan nag-uumpisa yung community because it feels like the same thing now. Which is, I think, that's the ideal situation, which is why there are, the companies that will do well in this space, in this new play to earn thing, it will be the ones who understand that the people who are part of their community, these are not their customers. They need to treat them like their friends. So parang don't treat them like your customer. They're just customers. They're just like parang line items on a balance sheet. That's not what they are. They're actually your friends. And if you treat them that way, then you will go far. I think that's a very broad and general way to say it, but I think that that has worked very well for YGG. It will work very well for every guild that participates in this ecosystem.
Well,
Nate, kinilig ka na,
yes.
Nate.
Oo,
Share
grabe,
us, share
grabe.
us.
I mean, sir, so napaka ano lang. Siguro sobrang overwhelmed lang ako na coming from Sir Luis, na I would say that we are really going to the right path. Kasi not really on the right path, pero with what you have just shared with us, we actually have those things as well with Asgard Axie. We do have our scholars training. We have our onboard team na nag-handle sa mga newbies
Yeah.
namin. Our moderators are our scholars as well. So that's just something that na-appreciate ko lang na tama pala yung ginagawa namin. We are
Yeah.
doing it. We are on the right path.
Yeah.
And wow,
Yeah.
just so overwhelmed. Um, so I just have a kasi Sir Luis, I just watch one of your interviews. Tas siguro not all are like watching your interviews sa amin sa mga newbies pa namin. Pero I just have one particular question. Siguro nung sinabi mo na yung SLP is Chicken Joy, tapos yung AXS is yung company itself.
Yeah.
I just want to really dive into that and um
Okay.
di ba cause me I get it, pero yung mga newbies namin, I just want them to really
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
understand yung SLP and AXS. If you could really share some thought
Sure.
about that.
Sige. Actually, ano kasi, so I guess context matters. The reason why I was using that analogy, I think, God, what was the show that I was on? It must have been, medyo ano kasi siya, it was a more business-oriented interview, I think. I can't remember exactly what the context was, but I remember that I wanted to use that analogy kasi a lot of people who were watching that show understood the stock market, the Philippine stock market. So that's why I wanted to kind of make that comparison na yung AXS, parang kang bumili ng stocks sa Jollibee Food Corp, which is JFC sa Philippine Stock Exchange. And then yung SLP, parang kang bumili ng maraming Chicken Joy. So the difference between those two is yung SLP kasi kinukonsume yun eh. It's meant to be well, I mean, in the terms that we use in Axie Infinity, it's meant to be burned by the breeders. Whereas with AXS is actually you making a bet on the company itself, on the brand Axie Infinity. Now, medyo hindi ganun kalinaw yung difference nung dalawang statements na yun, but let me try this. The thing about AXS kasi, you are really meant to hold that for as long as you possibly can. And you can see that right now with what they've been doing with the staking pool, no? It's a very, very profitable way currently to park your money. Kasi yung return on investment nung AXS na staking right now is over 100% per annum. So that means pag nagpasok ka ng 100 AXS doon ngayon, in a year's time, it will become 200 AXS. Now, you don't have to be an expert to know that is a really good deal, right? Because no matter, wala kang mahanap na ibang depository instrument in the real world, in the traditional world, that will be anywhere near that. If you put money into on time deposit right now sa banko, you will get maybe 2% per annum, right? So yung 100, kunwari, if you could put 100 AXS into the bank, you would get 101 AXS at the end of a year, right? But with this model, you actually double your money. And because of that, ang daming bumili ng AXS, right? Ang daming bumili ng AXS, and they started putting their money into this staking instrument. And lumaki yung value ng AXS. So now everyone actually started to, but yung holdings nila were not only increasing in terms of the number of AXS that they had, pati yung value per AXS tumataas din. So parang like, it's almost, there's no way for you to lose. But I mean, of course, it's cryptocurrency, right? I mean, so I could be talking right now, and then by tomorrow, biglang it loses 25% or something. That's totally possible.
Napaka volatile. Mhm.
Yeah, it's very, very volatile. Pero ano, yun nga, yung bottom line kasi niyan is that when you put money into when you convert your money into AXS and you hold on to it, what you're really doing there is you are betting that Axie Infinity will continue to grow. You are betting that Axie Infinity will figure out all of its economic problems. Yung, di ba? I mean, and I'm not going to say that it's a perfect game. It's
Mhm.
definitely not a perfect game. They're definitely still figuring stuff out. But if you believe enough that they are going to try to solve most of those problems, then you put your money into AXS. Ngayon, what do you use SLP for? I don't recommend anyone putting money into SLP unless may paggagamitan ka, like very specifically. So, if you're a breeder, that's kind of the only reason why you buy SLP naman eh. It's because you need SLP
To
in
breed.
order to breed Axies. Yeah, but I wouldn't bet on the SLP price right now because as you can see nga from the last couple of months, 'di ba, pababa yung value niya. And the reason for that is kasi sobrang daming players and there's not enough people who need to breed Axies in order to provide teams to those players. Kasi ang dami ng Axies in circulation eh. You don't have to sell it anymore. You don't have to breed them anymore. Or, I mean, hindi nagbabalanse, right? There's just way more players than there are breeders right now. And that's why the price keeps going down.
Oh,
Meron
grabe.
kaming Luis. Sorry, Nate. Sorry. Yeah. So meron kaming interesting question, Sir Luis, from our scholars. I'll read it to you.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
given how unpredictable and fast changing cryptocurrency is, and yet it is slowly inserting itself in different industries, do you see it evolving into a universal currency just like in sci-fi movies where countries use only one form of currency?
Okay.
Futuristic ito.
So I have, yeah, sure. Sige. Okay, this is a good, it's a good question. So here's my question for you na lang. Can you imagine the entire world agreeing on a single language? So let's say that it's not English. Let's pretend it's not English. Let's say
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
sige, let's just say it's Chinese na lang. Can you imagine a future where the entire world will speak Chinese? So ituturo natin in schools, all of the Filipinos will learn Chinese, all of the Koreans will learn Chinese, all of the Americans will learn Chinese. Can you imagine that world? Do you think that's possible? What's
Ah,
your
tama
what's your
nga
Ah,
thoughts
naman.
on
Good
that?
I see.
point. Right, di ba? So,
Yeah,
at
it's the
some
same
point
thing
talagang
with money.
kailangan natin liitan, no? Meron tayong mga sariling mga, yun na nga, yung countries natin eh, di ba? Parang, so, I don't
Yeah,
think like the
yeah.
entire universe or, sorry, world, magkakasundo into just one. This is just a lot of people to really agree on one currency, di ba?
Yeah, yeah. The humans are not made that way. Eh.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the
Mm-mm.
only time that humans ever agree on something is pag napilitan sila
Mm-mm.
by something else. No, usually it's the government that is doing that. But the idea that you would have 180 separate governments, many of them who are at war with each other right now, to agree on a single currency, I find that to be impossible. I don't think it'll ever happen. That's just not how humans are. Eh. So I
Ang
think that
hirap lang
what will
mag-agree sa
happen
isang
instead.
bagay.
Yeah. Very hard. I think what will happen more though is the dami ng options mo, such that you will have these very specific cryptos, right? I mean, we're already seeing it now. Eh. There's like 11,000 cryptocurrencies that are active right now in the world. So what's happening here is every time you have a specific idea in your head, instead of using someone else's crypto, you make your own crypto na lang, which is what happened to Axie Infinity. I mean, they couldn't even decide on one. They made two tokens, diba? So so we'll just keep seeing that every new thing, every new game will design its own token or cryptocurrency, and you will have to convert into that in order to play the game. I think what will happen though over time is mas magiging pulido yung conversion process, so you won't think about it so much anymore. I think medyo mas magiging automatic na yon.
Right.
Pero
Right.
they will still have their own tokens. And the reason why they need it is because ganun yung investment path eh. if you don't have your own token, there's nothing for people to buy when they want to support what you're doing. So kailangan mo ng sarili mong token, which is kind of that's how Axie Infinity did it. And
Right.
that's how many other crypto projects that are young are doing it right now. They make their own token, they offer it to the market will buy, and then yung founders, yung developers ng crypto na yon, ng project na yon, yun yung papanggastos nila to continue to build their project. So that's a very kind of normal way for crypto companies to raise money.
All
I
right.
see.
Thank you, sir, for answering the
Thank you.
question. Nate, you have more questions?
Yes, I do. So, Sir Luis, what level of potential do you see in NFTs and play to earn games as far as the Philippine market is concerned?
Sige, okay. I guess I can answer this more from the standpoint of YTG kasi I think there's a misconception that yung goal ng YGG is to just make 93 million Filipinos into full-time Axie Infinity gamers. Parang hindi naman, I don't think that's our goal. I think our goal is to enable Filipinos to find alternative sources of income. And for those people, right now, Axie Infinity is the parang most straightforward way to do that. But play to earn itself is not limited naman to Axie Infinity, right? I mean, there's like
True.
hundreds of play to
Yes.
earn games out there. If you look at the YGG blog, we actually list down all of the recent investments that we've made in other play to earn games. Many of these games have not actually started yet. Like we made investments in them early because we were making bets on what might be the next Axie Infinity. Obviously, we don't know for a fact what that will be, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it so that may position na kami in these potential future competitors of Axie
Later.
Infinity. But then even then, we're still not thinking about it just in terms of games. We're also thinking about it in terms of many other things, collectibles, art. Like there's many other ways kasi that NFTs are currently being used. And I think the point is that malaki yung possibilities nung ecosystem of NFTs, and gaming is just one of them. Gaming appears to be the easiest way to get people on board right now because it feels very it feels easier to learn because it looks fun, especially with Axie Infinity. It's fun, it's cute, it doesn't look like it's overwhelming, and then you can kind of and then you realize how complicated crypto actually is. But by that point, naglalaro ka na so it's too late. So like,
Too late.
so
Yeah.
now you have to learn all of this stuff, and you realize, oh my god, like I have to learn the difference between MetaMask and Ronin wallet, and like all this, like what the
Yeah.
hell, diba? So, I mean that's crypto life for you, but we still have a long way to go. I guess that's the final thought on that. But I think yung potential niya is it's massive because
Massive.
sige, one more really quick statistic na lang just to kind of drive the
Sige.
point home, no. So one of the reasons why I got into Yield Guild was when I was looking at the numbers of Filipinos who were playing Axie Infinity. So back then it was only like 200,000 ata. So hindi pa ganun karami kasi ngayon nasa na tayo, 1 million Filipinos na tayo ngayon So it was
Yeah.
200,000.
We're dominating.
And right, yeah, and so 200,000 Filipinos were playing Axie Infinity, and altogether they were making so it was 200,000 times $500 a month. So someone can do the math on that. Anyway, it was more than the OFWs that was working in Hong Kong
Yeah.
at the time were making every month. So so here's the no. So the reason why I was very compelled to get into this industry was because the only reason why there are OFWs in Hong Kong or in any country really, the only reason why OFWs even exist is because there's not enough jobs here. Because no parent wants to be separated from their children in order to work overseas. No, like everyone wants to stay with their families, or if they want, they take their entire family and they relocate somewhere else. But
Right.
the OFW experience kasi is so specific to the fact that we don't have enough jobs here. So in order for you to make a decent living and provide for your family, you have to leave the country. Now, the whole play to earn thing, the whole metaverse thing, is a possible response or a possible solution to that. Because instead of leaving, just stay at home. Just play this play to earn game, earn enough money so that you can actually do other stuff with your time. I mean, how much time do you actually spend playing Axie Infinity every day? 3 hours? That's not a
Three.
full day's
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do
It's
something
not.
else. You can go back to school.
Yeah.
You could
A
go to
lot of
TESDA
things.
and learn something. You become a chef, diba? I don't know, whatever, diba? But there's stuff you can do with that time. Eh. So the idea is not necessarily to turn the entire country into Axie Infinity players. The idea is to give the average Filipino better options that doesn't involve having to leave the country. And Pano, there's so many horror stories about being an OFW, and I'm not saying that it's bad for everyone. I know many OFWs that are quite happy with their lives,
Right.
um, but I'll bet you they'll still be happier if they could stay with their kids. I think.
Yeah. And
I think I
it's just
can
like an
probably
alternative
say.
or an option for them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Better
Just
option,
we're
I
just
guess.
providing options. No one's telling you
That's right.
naman na ano na umuwi ka na,
Correct.
'di ba? That's not what we're
Yeah.
saying.
Ikaw na mag-action ka na
But
lang.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But parang
No,
the options need to be more clear, and then they need to be safe.
yeah.
Because
Mhm.
there's lots of ways right now kasi that people are getting very very excited about Axie Infinity tapos nasa scam sila, right?
Uh-huh.
Because they don't
Mhm.
know enough about it eh. So parang they'll drop 50,000 pesos tapos tatakbuhan sila nung seller, di ba? Stuff like that. Like that happens
Mhm.
so so there's still a lot
Marami
of
ng
stuff to
risks.
be done. Yeah. The lots of customer education that needs to happen. Yeah.
Well, having said that, customer education needs to happen. Also, syempre, scholars din, di ba? Kasi napakarami po nating mga ay nag-a-apply ng scholarship. Tama ba? So, ang daming message every day sa Discord, sa Facebook, we'll receive a lot of these. And then, without them knowing, it's not just playing, what's behind it, di ba? Yung, sabi mo nga kanina, ang dami palang, you are started to play it, and then ang dami palang kailangan aralin behind it,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
now, as we go along, leaders of Asgard, we try to learn this and we try to pass these knowledge to them kasi not all of them are still knowledgeable in terms of cryptocurrency. I'm also learning as well, but we try to make sure na we tell them also what we know in order for them to have this option for themselves. Now, I mentioned this, Sir Luis, because binibigyan din namin ng option yung mga scholars namin. Either we give them, of course, we give them their payout, or we give them an option to hold their SLPs. I think gusto nilang marinig to coming from you. Kasi dagtaka sila eh.
Hmm.
So, bakit kailangan na namin
Oo.
magbukas ng Binance all of a sudden? Diba? And then, hindi ko to naiintindihan. So, I think we
Right.
would want them to hear it coming from you. Why are we doing this? Options for them.
Yeah. Okay. Sige. Well, so I actually have some more stats here. About 40% of our players right now choose to hold SLP rather than turn it into pesos. Medyo it's pretty easy naman to tell why. Mababa yung exchange rate ngayon eh.
Uh-huh.
Mababa yung palitan ngayon eh. So medyo you feel like nalulugi ka ng konti, 'di ba? When you trade. I actually don't know what the price is today. Is it like 350 pa rin or something like that? Anyway, it's
3.4.
low, right? Yeah, it's low, right? It's
Mhm.
very low, especially if you're one of the people who started when it was 20 pesos per SLP. So masakit yon, diba? To see the profitability of your scholarship go down so much. That's painful. So most people would rather hold and wait. Now, I actually don't recommend that they do that. I actually recommend people to just take it. Just take what you can now, and then just I mean, it's not like this is the last SLP you'll ever earn. Ideally, you're still gonna keep playing, diba? So the thing about crypto kasi, and what's very interesting about Axie Infinity versus crypto trading. With crypto trading kasi, pag bumili ka ng crypto na yon, you kind of are forced to hold it kung bumaba yung price niya. So let's say you bought Bitcoin when it was, for example, uh God, what is it now? I guess it's like 3 million pesos right now. So let's say bumili ka ngayon, right? So bumili ka ng Bitcoin, 0.001 Bitcoin, whatever. And it was at the 3 million peso price range. Let's say tomorrow it dropped to 2 million pesos. You have to hold it, right? If you don't hold it kasi, you will what we call, you realize that loss, meaning whatever yung difference between the price that you bought it and the price that you sold it, talo ka, that whatever that amount was. Now that is very specific to crypto trading or trading, because wala kang ibang action, eh. There's no other way for you to continue to earn money from that Bitcoin that you just bought, right? So you can only hold, or you decide to let it go and take the loss, right? Those are your only two options. With Axie Infinity, it's not that it's different. Eh. With Axie Infinity, you can continue to make that decision over and over again every month. Twice a month pa nga, kasi every 14 days ka nagka-claim ng SLP. Eh. Diba? So the idea is you can still earn money from it regardless of what's actually happening with the price, kasi hindi mo naman binili yung SLP na yun eh. Ang ginawa mo kasi doon, pinalit mo yung oras mo eh. Diba? Kasi what you actually did was you played Axie Infinity and then you earned SLP, and that's it, right? So you did not actually put pesos into an exchange to buy that SLP. So that means that it's up to you if you want to just convert it now, pay your Meralco bill, buy some load, buy some groceries. Masakit nga, but kasi it's 3 pesos and 40 centavos per SLP. But at least may kinita ka. Would you rather that it be zero? I mean, diba? Like, these are not good options. Otherwise, if it's just zero,
Yeah,
then like, what are we even
science
talking about?
effort.
So, yeah, yun nga eh. So, I actually really feel like people shouldn't hold so much. That's a very dangerous behavior to have kasi, because that's being greedy. And with play to earn, the whole point nga is na meron regular income na pumapasok. You should be taking advantage of the fact na regular income yung pumapasok. Just use it. I mean, you don't have to spend, you don't have to liquidate all of it naman eh. Like, if you only need 1,000
Right.
pesos for this 2 weeks because you want to buy load or you want to pay for one bill, di yun lang, magtira ka ng konti. But like, I would never advocate for holding it for a long time. And what, are you gonna wait for 20 peso SLP again? Like, you have no idea if that will ever happen again. I have no idea if that will ever happen again. And I certainly don't want to tell people that I think it's likely. I actually don't think it's likely, by the way. So I think na yung pinaka likely na mangyari is we'll hover at this price range for at least another month or two. And then probably at best will be at about maybe 6 to 7 pesos before the end of the year. So it really depends on a couple of things. Eh. Will it, like, lalabas ba yung decks na that they've been planning for so long? Lalabas ba yung version
Land.
2 ng battle system, 'di ba? Like, ang daming nun eh, ang daming nakadepend dun sa price increase na yon. And I don't actually like, I don't like making bets on stuff where other company, this, like, Sky Mavis basically has your fate in their hands. Like, that's not a good idea, dude. Like, just use the SLP that you have, pay your bills, and then keep playing. Diba? It's so much safer to do it that way.
That's right.
So, yun lang. That's it. That's
Right.
like, I'm very, like, I'm actually quite conservative because when I'm giving people advice about, whether or not
Uh-huh.
they should trade or whatever, with my
Right.
own stuff, I'm super high risk, but that's different. So, that's more like, like, I've got 7.5 years worth of experience making very, very risky
Yeah.
bets in crypto trading. But like, I think that if you are relying on Axie Infinity for your regular income, then you should treat it like it's your regular income and actually turn it into pesos. That's the advice, I
Okay.
guess.
Wow.
Wait.
So
So, wait,
go
thank
ahead.
you, ah. Meron kasi ako naisip eh. Sorry, Nate. Sorry, may naisip kasi akong kaduktong noon, Sir Luis, no?
Mhm. Mhm.
So sabi mo nga eh, they should spend their money and use it. I mean, you can't really help it kasi nga, di ba nga sabi mo nga, a lot of, most of the popular here, population in the Philippines nga is masa, di ba? So, they would really
Yeah.
need to use that money to buy. Di ba nga sabi ng some scholars
Yeah.
namin, salamat po kasi nakabili na ako ng gatas para sa baby ko. Sobrang nakakatuwa, ano po?
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
so, let's say meron silang matirang money or SLP, no? Would you also suggest for them to really like trade it into other coins? Let's say AXS.
Mm. Okay. So, sige, ganito na lang. I'll tell you what we do in my art guild. On the investor side, ha, not on
Ayan,
the
sige
player
po.
side. On the player side, kasi ano yun eh, that's
Okay.
completely up to the players. On the investor
Mm-hmm.
side, lahat nung share nung investors, I actually take the SLP and I turn it into AXS. And then I stake it. Kasi with the investors naman, we don't have to split up the revenues until the end of the year. So if we've got that much time to wait, the only logical thing to do with that money is to put it into something na nagbe-bear ng nag-yield ng additional gains, 'di ba? So you put it in AXS, of course. The only other option I think is you turn it into Ethereum and then i-stake mo yung Ethereum na yon. Pero the thing is, like, mas mabagal kasi yung Ethereum staking in terms of profitability. With AXS, as I said earlier, diba, it's 100% per annum. Eh. So yung 3 months na nakastake yung investor earnings namin, that's about 25% additional AXS. That's a really
Wow.
good deal,
Yeah, it
right?
is.
So parang there's no investor that would say no to that. So I mean, again, AXS has to go up in price or at least stay in the range, diba? If it goes down way lower, then it's sort of painful. But the thing is, wala namang ibang pupuntahan yung pera namin eh. The only other option is what gagawin ko siyang stable coin, so USDT or something like that. But like none of the none of my guild investors want their money to stay in a stable coin. These are all crypto guys. So they understand what it means when you make an investment in cryptocurrency. They understand what it means when you take profits in cryptocurrency. Magalaw talaga yung parang paper value niyan eh. But that's the nature of the game. So ngayon, what do we do with players? With players, we just tell them, you can do whatever you want. You can hold it as SLP, or if you want pesos, then we're actually, kami na mismo yung nagko-connect them. We'll actually connect them with traders to turn their SLP into pesos. So part of the service of the guild na yon. So they don't actually have to, like, if they don't want to get a Binance account, diba, kasi medyo hassle na yon. And
Ah,
then many of our
okay.
our players are too young to get a Binance account kasi wala pa silang ID or
ID.
wala pa silang proof of address or something like that, diba? So the guild helps facilitate yung exchange nila of SLP to PHP and send it to, I don't know, their parents' Gcash account or something like that. So that's usually how we do it. Um, Again, I just kind of I tell people to, if as much as possible, just exchange it. But if you are going to put it into anything else, AXS makes a lot of sense. Staking AXS makes a lot of sense. I mean, you're already in SLP, diba? So basically, you already believe in Axie Infinity. So you might as well
True.
already just put it in AXS kung ganon.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
That's a very easy thing to justify.
Yes.
But yun nga, like I said, it's that decision needs to come from you, the scholar or the player. Um, the guild is meant to give you options, but I don't want to influence people's decisions because hindi ko alam yung individual context nila eh. With
Right.
my investors in our guild, I know exactly that these guys don't care about keeping their money in a stable coin. They don't want their money to stay stagnant like that. They would much rather that we take a bet on a cryptocurrency. And I know with it, I mean, they've already put money into an Axie Infinity guild, right? So obviously they're okay with AXS. So yun, context matters eh. Yung personal situation what really matters when you make decisions like this.
I totally agree. Thank you. Nate?
Ayun, grabe, napakalaman ng mga sagot ni Sir Luis. Sigurado ako, all of our
There's a lot
scholars.
of people saying this is not financial advice. By the way,
Yeah.
I stopped saying that na. I stopped saying that now because I mean I guess because medyo basically just everyone would just say this is not financial advice. Blah 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 blah. Blah. It's like, dude.
Disclaimer.
I mean, yeah, okay, sige, but like, I mean, I am actually giving you guys advice because it is coming from someone who has looked at this stuff for so long. Eh. So sure, I think the correct thing for me to say is I am not a licensed financial professional. There is no such thing as a licensed crypto financial professional. Eh. Wala pang
Yeah.
ganon, wala pang lisensya
Wala
for
pa
that. Eh.
siguro. Wala.
Yeah.
Baka ikaw yung
Like who
unang-una
would
sa
even give you?
Philippines, if
Who would
ever.
even give you that license? The like there's no
Yeah.
authority that would give you that license. So yeah.
You would say, I dubbed you.
Yeah, I'm not a licensed financial professional. However, this is actually financial advice because I am giving you my recommendation about money. So by definition, this is financial advice. But you know what?
Okay.
It's still your choice what you want to do with it, diba? Like,
Yes.
yun nga,
Yes.
it's
And then
still up
ano
to
yung
you.
lagi niyong sinasabi, Sir Luis? Ano yung lagi niyong sinasabi that's in your hat?
Don't trust. Yeah, don't trust,
Don't trust,
verify. So yeah, it's a different hat. I don't
verify.
actually have it in this room, eh, pero don't trust,
Yeah.
verify, and that means do your own homework. But yeah, it's a weird world. Eh. Crypto is a very strange world. You have to find people kasi that you can kind of get reliable information from. You have to verify that those people are telling you the correct things. It's it's you can't just trust one source. Yun lang. That's it.
Mhm. Ayun. So,
Thank you
Myrtle,
so much.
thank you so much,
Yeah.
Sir Luis. Medyo ano na tayo, no? 8:02 na. So, I just have one
Yes.
last question, Sir Luis, before we end the
Sure.
interview. I guess we would like to ask your advice to the leaders and scholars of Asgard, since we are a growing community.
Okay. Sige. Specifically about parang I guess getting bigger or what are you
Yeah,
guys looking
getting
for?
bigger,
Yeah,
getting bigger.
bigger.
Okay.
Getting
Okay.
bigger or about
Okay. Well,
Axie Infinity. Yeah.
hmm. So I'm actually just learning the correct strategy for this myself. Kasi based on yung numbers that you guys were sharing with me before the show, I think we're about the same sizes. You guys and your partner guild, that's about the same size as my guild, my CryptoPop Art Guild. So I think that I guess the advice that I can give you is kind of limited to how to get to several hundred scholars, which is, you know, just get your ducks in order when it comes to the fundamentals, right? So player training, optimize yung kayang income nung players nyo. The thing that I've started to learn very deeply recently is it really matters once if you can get good data on your scholars. So using things, I'm sure you guys are using some kind of monitor like Axie Watch or whatever. So like that kind of data is very important, but also taking snapshots for each kunwari, each week or each claim period, that really matters. Kasi makikita mo kung sino yung mga nagpo-perform better over time and kung sino yung mga nagde-dip yung performance. And then you have to check like why that is. So with us, for example, we have about less than 1% of our sorry, it's 1%. 1% of our players are currently in the red zone, yung 800 MMR range. And those are diba? You have to address that. You have to know like very
Yes.
quickly kung nangyayari yan kasi ibig sabihin hindi na sila kumikita diba? And we don't know when the next season's gonna start. So parang data is important even at this range where we're only talking about 1 or 200 people. And it becomes even more important when we're starting to look at 2,000 people or 5,000 people. So the YGG community right now, we actually did our first big community survey, and like was really surprised by the data that we were uncovering. And it's really going to change yung internal strategy namin for how we train, how we communicate with our players. I think yun yung ano ko, yun yung biggest takeaway ko. Data really matters. It doesn't matter how big you are. So that's one. And the other thing, and this is me, my personal mission with YGG. Um, I don't think that I don't think that we're spending enough time reaching the other parts of the Philippines that are not Tagalog speaking. I
Mhm.
think that parang we tend to we tend to still act kasi like what matters is Tagalog, and yeah, sure,
Mhm.
that's fine. I mean, there's a lot more Tagalog speakers than any other language in the country, but there's a whole lot of Bisaya and Ilocano and
Yes.
Hiligaynon and
Yes.
Kapampangan, and there's so many other languages. And we are not working hard enough to connect with all of those other provinces and regions and stuff like that. So part of yung ongoing strategy ng YGG is that we will actually try to go out of our way to connect into those other parts of the country, because parang look, if you've never seen an Axie player guide written in Hiligaynon, like, dude, that is such a cool thing to see, diba? Like, parang, like, firstly, I don't even know if it's possible, but we're gonna try, right? We're gonna try to do it, and we're gonna try to make that happen, because I don't think it is correct to say that this is a Philippine-wide or nationwide phenomenon kung puro Tagalog speakers lang yung
Oh,
natin,
hindi lahat.
player base
Yeah.
natin. Yeah, I don't think that's fair to say. So we need to make
And
that effort.
imagine, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
imagine what help it could really bring these people kung yung mga nasa fisherman or yung mga nasa
Yeah.
dulo ng Pilipinas, no? And then we try our
Yeah.
best to really help them and teach
Yeah.
them this
Yeah.
as an alternative income for them.
Yeah, yeah, and mas mahirap yung opportunities the further you get away from the major cities, eh. 'Di ba? So the further you travel away from Metro Manila, the further you travel away from Cebu City or Davao City, the opportunities are harder and harder to come by. So if you're talking about the people who can benefit the most from this, it is those people who are further away. But yun nga, they don't necessarily speak Tagalog, eh. They most
Yeah.
definitely do not speak English. So the what we should be focusing on is the basically destroy the language barrier, interact and communicate in the languages that the actual players and community members are comfortable with. Now that's easier said than done, of course, because I mean I can't speak Hiligaynon. I don't even know what that sounds like really. I mean, I guess I know a little bit, but like it's very different, right? So we need to actively look for members of our community that can act as ambassadors and stuff like that. So that's the YGG strategy for this coming year. All of our content is gonna be in multiple languages. Na puro Philippines. So it's like five
Wow.
or six Filipino
Yeah.
languages, and we're gonna try to
Dami.
make that happen consistently. Um, yeah, yun nga, my goal is to basically make the world's first Axie player guide written in Hiligaynon or Kapampangan or something like that, no? Yeah, like Ilocano, because why
Ilocano.
not? We should be able to
Yeah.
do that. Why not? Why shouldn't
Yeah.
we, diba? So
Yeah.
yun,
Tama.
that's it.
Tama po.
That's what I've got. Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh, medyo kinikilig ako kasi Nate, alam ko naiisip mo 'to,
Oo,
Nate,
naisip ko
kasi
yan.
what Sir Luis is telling us is like, ay, sobrang kilig ko kasi at some point in our, like, paano ba, 2 months, 3 months that we're running Asgard Axie,
Mhm.
is that we already have tiny bits and pieces of these that you're advising us. So, ay, oh my gosh, parang, ay, meron kami nito. Check, check, check. So I'm just very proud that I guess we are on the proper path, that helping these people, helping our team, and helping more people to come. Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Sir
Sir
Luis. Sana
Luis.
mas marami pa tayong time. Siguro next time invite ka namin ulit, ha?
Yeah, sure. Look, I mean, I'm happy to keep connecting with all of the members of the community. I think that uh, part of the job right now is to make sure that people know what YGG uh, represents and stands for. But also, parang it would be like if I can share information with you guys that you find useful and helps you make parang better decisions about your own strategies. I think that the entire community, the entire Philippine community is helped by that. Diba? Because the guilds get better, the managers get better, the players get smarter. So I think that that's all good. Like I'm not a big believer in keeping the best information to yourself, because it's supposed to go out there nga. It's supposed to get spread so more people can make smarter decisions. So yeah, I'm happy to keep doing stuff like this, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to speak to your community. I'm still slightly embarrassed by the video that you prepared, but I thank you for it. It's very nice of you to have put
Sorry.
that together. And so yeah, so thanks so much for the time, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Sir
This is a really
Luis.
wonderful evening.
It is. It is a wonderful evening. So, um, I guess we. Uh,
Yeah, and so for
s-
those of you, oh, go ahead, notice.
ano lang, sobrang grabe, grabe. Sobrang
Ano ba yan?
overwhelming.
Parang starstruck ako eh, no?
Hindi nga ako makapag-react masyado kay Sir Luis kasi nga based on what he has mentioned, uh, I think we are on the right path, Myrtle, right? The decisions that we have made.
Kinikilig ako, notice, no?
Oo. Lalo na yung data.
I
Yung sa
could see you
data pa lang eh.
smiling every time, every time. Yeah, every time that he's telling us the data, like about like meron tayong I guess we would have yung kino-compare niya, sorry, yung companies versus like how it is in a guild na you will have this team that who would act as moderators and helping other team to coach, other scholars to coach. Parang nakita ko sabay tayo nag-smile kasi I am
Yeah.
very proud that Asgard actually is also like doing the same, no? Doing the same.
Mhm.
That we
We
have
are.
this group of people or these people who really help us, is helping us.
Grabe. And syempre, with saying that, I just want to say a huge shout out sa team natin, Myrtle, right? Sa aming
Yeah.
onboarding team, sa
Yeah.
mga Discord and Facebook moderators. We really appreciate you for helping us
Mga
build the community.
coaches. Yeah.
Uh, right?
Right.
Sila Leo, sila Ate Bambi, sa lahat ng mga yan, maraming maraming salamat sa inyo. And ayun, ano pa ba for tonight?
Yan, kasi always naman ang goal natin is people over profit, diba? So, sa
That's
atin,
right.
sa community natin, it's like a circle of helping each other talaga. So, yeah, thank you, thank you. Thank you also, Nodus. Mamimigay pa ba tayo ng mga prizes? Feeling ko dapat mamigay pa rin tayo ng prizes, no? Sayang naman kasi yung opportunity. Ang dami nating viewers and then ang dami nating learnings. Dagdagan pa natin ang happiness yan.
Tara, we can do that.
Ayan, okay guys. So, just let us know kung nandyan pa kayo. Hashtag naman kayo dyan. Hashtag, ano ba? Luis Rocks. Ayan,
Oo,
o, diba?
hashtag Luis Rocks.
Yan, hashtag Luis Rocks. Yan. Sobrang saya ko tonight. I cannot stress that enough. And to share that happiness, ibigay pa natin yung Gcash.
Tara. Ano to? Madami-dami to. Kaya kung ako sa inyo,
Yeah,
dapat
I know.
nagstay kayo hanggang dulo. Because you need to say that you guys are present.
Thor is here. All right. Okay, Nate. Take it away.
Ayan. So, we have
Ayan na,
our
hashtag
first
Luis
winner.
Rocks. Okay, first.
Oh,
You guys need to you need to say that you're present, guys, for you to be able to win. So our
yes.
first winner of ano ba?
100
200
peso
pesos
Gcash.
Gcash.
Oh, sige, 200
Yan.
daw.
200 na agad, fight. Kirk Vernil Solisa. There. Are you here? Say present. Kirk Vernil Solisa. Ayan.
Are you here? Parang wala ah.
Sige, ganito na lang. We'll draw again. Basta i-message nyo kami sa aming Facebook page. So, this is the winner number 1. You message us, okay? Number 2, winner of 200 pesos Gcash again. Dami nag-present, hindi naman sila yon.
Dami nagpe-present to. Hindi nyo naman pangalan yan guys ah.
Oy nga pala, thank you guys sa mga questions. Thank you, Grishel. Thank you, Kerbic. Kasi, alam mo yung nasabi na nila yung question nila sa chat. Pero nasagot na ni Sir Luis, di ba? Sabi mo nga, Nathan, ganun talaga, no? Ang galing niya, na-cover niya lahat. So, sobrang napadali. Smooth na natin.
Sobrang smooth. Ang sumagot ni Sir Luis napaka-concise, napaka-malinamnam.
Malaman nga.
Malaman.
Ayan, Dodos, ang ating second winner.
So we have Rean Anton William Cabas.
Yan.
You just need to message us, I guess, para ma-claim yung 200 pesos
message
mo.
Para makuha na yung prize. You have to message us. Until tomorrow morning, di ba? Until tomorrow, right. 9 a.m. Yan. 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Pag walang message, nako, wala. Goodbye 200.
Ay, ito pala, nakalimutan ko si John Luke din. Napaka-active dito. Ayan yung mga Asgardian scholars. Thank you guys for being here watching as well. Third winner of 200 Gcash.
Ay, nakikita ko yan sa comment section. Si Chivas Bash.
Yeah. Ayan, Chivas. Oy, finally, ang lagi siyang nanonood, no? Lagi siyang nanonood.
Chivas Bash, no? 200 peso Gcash. Message mo na lang yung Facebook page natin.
Grabe guys. Thank you. Hindi ko na kayo ma-hi. Hindi na namin kayo masya-shoutout ni Nathan kanina kasi nga sobrang busy kami listening. Gusto ko nga i-write. Parang gusto ko i-type lahat ng sinasabi niya pero sige, recorded naman to so we can always go back and listen to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hindi nga ako kanina, hindi ako parang ayoko siya i-cut off kasi parang mawawala yung momentum niya.
Kaya nga, tama. So, alam mo guys, sobrang dami namin prepare na question. Pero most of it natako niya without us even asking.
That's right. So, we have another winner of 200 pesos. Yes. Jeff Ivan.
Yeah, Jeff Ivan. Ayan. That's the last na, no? Last na, 200.
Last.
Yeah, nakaapat na tayo. Apat na tayo. Isa pa? Isa pa ba? Isa pa. Last na. Para 5.
Yes.
Okay,
para
last
5.
one. 200. Yeah? Grabe po si Rochelle. Siksik-liglig ang mga info kanina with Sir Luis. Tama ka, Marco?
Tama. Napaka-siksig at liglig. So for our last winner, we have... Sino ba to? Ayan, si Camille Pascua.
Ayan na.
Last winner of our 200 pesos.
Ayan.
Congratulations, guys.
200 pesos Gcash for tonight. O nga, guys, ha. So, ayan, malapit na kami mag-end ng ating stream tonight. This has really been an awesome evening, guys. But, don't forget that we still have, ano pa ba yung mga susunod natin mga events in the next few days, Nate?
Of course, tomorrow, we will have Mystery Thursday with Yo. Friday, we have Enchanted Friday with our new 2 streamers. So, abangan nyo yan. And of course, sa Saturday, meron tayong Saturday.
Mystery din yan, no? Yeah.
Sa Saturday, Spooky Saturday with AJ Gaming. And of course, yung pinaka-main event natin for this week is the Sunday, which is Halloween party. Let's join our virtual party, guys. We have a lot of prizes and games in store for you. So, please join us.
Ayan, lahat ng mga winners ng ating mga mga contest for our Halloween No Tricks Just Tweet is gonna be announced on Sunday, so you all can join us in our virtual Halloween party. Sobrang, siguro most of the streamers, siguro makita nyo at mga Asgardians kasama sa virtual party namin. So if you guys can join, marami rin kaming prizes aside from scholarship, Gcash din, upauulanin natin ng maraming Gcash. Hindi lang sa mga non-Asgardians, pati sa mga Asgardians na magsusupport. Syempre, yan. If you guys are present, most likely you will get and win a prize as well. Ayan. So, Nate, do we have more?
Well, I guess we can wrap up the night na since 8:20 na. We really appreciate you guys staying with us with our interview with Sir Luis. I hope you took, the best knowledge that you can get from that interview.
And guys, again, don't forget, ilang days pa ba? 1, 2, 3, 4 more days before the Halloween No Chicks the Street main event. And we will see you guys again. Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you for joining. Good evening.